Summer bibs. Got a special guest in the house today, Fraser. Been one of my really favorite athletes of all time. Just unbelievable dedication, unbelievable willpower, and just hard work. It's amazing what these guys do CrossFit training and how long he's been able to stay at the top. He's won the CrossFit Games like 4 times, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm going to teach him sumo deadlift today, but I also hope to learn about his mindset, how he approaches training. So I'm excited. So what we're going to focus on today is, for me, I think arguably the most important position of sumo deadlift is the first few inches off the floor. So it's like the delivery of the bar upwards. Yeah. If you have strong glutes and hamstrings, then the top of the pull is not something you have to worry about. But the beginning of the pull is the most important one because it sets up the entire movement afterwards. So today we're going to focus on that, like the first couple of inches off the floor. We're going to do a 1-inch pause off the floor. Okay.
But with this, I'm assuming like you want to keep your chest as upright as possible.
And simultaneously pull up and push down at the same time. Okay. It's like the key is the synergistic motion of the chest and the hips. Okay. That's the key. And essentially in the sumo deadlift, you're trying to counteract the weight that's on the bar with your own body weight. It's like a game of, it's kind of like a teeter-totter. Yeah. It's a leverage game, that's all that it is. As opposed to like a conventional or a clean or a snatch where like it's just different. But in the sumo, it's a game of leverages. How can you leverage your body against the weight of the bar?
So it's just like body type is the main indicator?
Yeah, okay. You have to know your body type for sumo. You have a shorter torso, longer femurs, long arms.
Good. I got long femurs.
Love a man with long femurs. I always say, the pause off the floor is an opportunity for you to refine the move. So what I want to see in a sumo deadlift is when that bar leaves the ground, like sometimes it pulls you out of position, that pause is an opportunity for you to reset.
Do you usually get this out of breath when you do 5 lifts?
Way worse.
Good to know.
1, 2, 3.
Sumo deadlifts.
Dude, it's great. Like, I'm all for trying something new, like if I have someone that knows what they're doing, but I just want to get some tools that I can take back home and kind of build off of.
What's your mindset training so many years for such a physically and mentally demanding sport?
I think a huge part of it was losing in 2015. Like that was, like, it comes down to the final workout and you blow it in front of like 12, 15,000 people. You never want that feeling again. When I'm on the competition floor, I don't give a fuck about family, friends. Like, I'm not doing that for them. I'm doing it for me. I'm trying to set myself up in a life to like provide extra. Like when you're out there, you gotta be doing it for yourself. Like you have to be passionate about it. And I just think about like, what do I want my story to be when I'm 40 years old? What do I want to tell my kids, my grandkids?
I always say that.
It's interesting that he says that because I feel like a lot of people who really excel at anything in particular, a huge portion of their motivation is the story.
Like when I'm in my garage by myself rowing and it's shitty, like one, I think about like, you know, an hour worth of rowing intervals. It's like, this is 4% of my day. This is not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. And it's like, the results from it will last forever. Once I get that gold medal, no one can take it away from me. That's mine. But it's like, you quit early, you know, you fuck up a lift or like you just didn't put everything into it. And then it's like that shame the rest of the day. You're like, fuck. I wasted that entire training session. I can never get that back.
Do you think that mentally it's been more difficult for you to reach the top or to stay at the top?
I feel like they're two different things. So going into the 2016 season, it was the most stressful and the most freeing at the same time. Because after the 15 games, it was like, this may never happen. It's very possible I could finish my CrossFit career and never win. So it's like, is it worth it? You know, put everything in and not get the results you want. So you have to be okay with that. But then on the other hand, it was like I made the decision, I'm going to put everything in. Like I'm canceling everything else in my life, and this is the only thing I'm focused on. Every decision in the day, it's either going to take you closer to your goal or further away. And it was like, if it took me a millimeter away from my goal, it's like, nope, fuck that, I'm not doing it. So it was very freeing in the sense of like, if I didn't achieve my goal, there was no what if in my mind of like, oh man, what if I didn't go to that party? Like, would that have been the straw that broke the camel's back? What if my diet was better? What if my sleep was better? It was like, I literally went into 16, like, if I lose, I'm gonna sleep fine tonight because I did everything I could.
Did you feel like a quitter when you stopped doing weightlifting?
Yeah.
You felt like
Oh, I went into a bad depression after weightlifting.
because it was your dream. You wanted to go to the Olympics.
Yeah. Both my parents were Olympians, and I was like, I want to make this a family tradition. So when I stopped weightlifting, it was the right move because the love for it was gone. So there was no backpedaling into like, oh, maybe I'll just keep doing it. It was a sunk cost. Like the time and money was spent, no getting it back, and for whatever reason, I just didn't have the knowledge or the physical ability to get to that next level. So when I left that, I trained since I was 12 years old till I was 22, every day, 2-a-days, and then just to walk away, there was a big void.
At what point did it begin to click for you that CrossFit could fill kind of the void of an Olympic dream?
So I kept it secret from my friends for like a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Told no one anything, and then it was the guy who's my manager and he owns all the competitions, Matt O'Keefe.
Yeah.
I met him at a competition in Boston, and he was in a CrossFit gym that had weightlifting off on the side, and he was talking about like to a buddy of like, oh, so and so is going to win this and this and this. And O'Keefe was like, no, this new kid, Matt Fraser, coming in. He's going to win it. And they're like, no way. Like, this guy's a games athlete. This guy's a game. And he's like, no, Matt Fraser, he's unheard of. And the weightlifters that I trained with in Colorado Springs and Michigan were like, they're like, oh, it's funny. We knew a weightlifter, Matt Fraser. And they're like, he's like, yeah, that's him. He used to weight. And they're like, no way. That can't be him. He wouldn't do this. And then I get but yo,
Never stoop so low.
you can put that shame aside for a $4,000 check. I'm like 2 days, $4,000. I'm there. So I got a call from my buddy that was a weightlifter. He said, hey, are you doing CrossFit? And I was like,
No.
And then I had multiple people the first year at the games. They were like, they do weightlifting at a CrossFit gym, and like, so they have the games on ESPN.
Yeah.
And they're like Sage Bergner. She said, she was like, oh, the games were playing in the background. I kept hearing the name Matt Fraser. And she's like, oh, that's funny. I know a Matt Fraser. That's funny. And she's like, oh, I looked up on the screen, and it's like, oh, that's him. Like, I didn't even know he did CrossFit. Yeah. So I kept it quiet for a long time, and then like once the sponsors started rolling in and stuff, but like that's when I was like, oh, okay, like this is a thing.
Yeah.
But for like a year, it was just any competition that had a $500, $1,000 prize.
Yeah.
I would drive to it. Like I had
Part-time job.
I had a hoopty of a car. I was living in my parents' house, and I was a full-time college student.
Yeah.
So if I could make $500 every weekend, like it's better than a fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll keep hustling this shit.
It's just funny that there's a transition from that mentality, pocket change on the weekends to I'm going to be a world champion, right?
What do you think your purpose is going to be when you're not doing CrossFit? What are you going to fill it with? Do you think about that? Does it scare you?
I'm excited to find the next thing. I'm excited to have something that pulls me away from what I'm doing now. Like, I'm excited to have something that I'm excited to go do. What that is, no fucking idea.
Are you going to actively search for it, or are you just going to let it find you?
I'm pretty sure I'll have to do something with construction. I love building.
So you want to just remove yourself from the fitness space?
Oh, when it's my time to go, I'm not going to be the guy that 10 years after I'm trying to hang on. I want to be where people want me to be, and it's like if there's no desire for me to be there, I don't want to.
you.